Happy New Year and welcome back to another Amazon selling video. I hope you guys had a good Christmas and Happy New Year. I missed you. It was kind of weird not filming videos, but it was also nice to have a break. I am here in Oregon where I am filming in the RV right now, but we are actually going to be renovating it in the next week, so I don't know where I'll be, but hopefully it'll be quiet and I can find a place to keep recording. If you're new to my channel, my name is Nikki Crick and I've been selling on Amazon doing retail arbitrage for 3.5 years, all from this RV, all around the country. So one of the questions I saw a lot in the back half of December was, what do you sell in January? What should you be sourcing? Are toys still selling? All of that kind of questions. And so I thought I would just make a video where I'm going to show you today my top 10 items from January 2020. I'll take you through a little bit of what I sold, as well as just give you pointers of what to look for in January, what sells. If you missed Sunday's video, I actually recapped my sourcing trip the last week of December here in Oregon, and I found over $3,000 of profit in just one day. So I go over like what I sourced then, so if you want more information, definitely check that video out. It's the video right before this one, or I'll also link it here if you want to go check it out and come back to this one. Just to answer like what should you be selling, what should you be sourcing in January, the answer is everything. It is really not that different. Year-round, everything is selling because you're always looking for things that have good rank, and a good rank means it sells. That's why I don't buy anything that doesn't have a rank, because that rank is so valuable to tell you how many will sell. You can use free tools like Keepa or Jungle Scout where it'll estimate how many will sell a month, and then you'll know like, okay, this is a really good rank. I have a free rank guideline when you sign up for my email list. If you want it, the links are all below to everything that I mentioned. So rank is key. So no matter what it is, it could be a toy, it could be a toothpaste, like all stuff is selling year-round, because guess what? People are buying stuff year-round, and that's the beauty of selling on Amazon. Obviously, things like Christmas are not going to be selling anymore, but Valentine's Day is right around the corner. So things to look for in January are things like Valentine's Day. You really want to get everything in for Valentine's Day, probably the first 3 weeks of January. If you're going to do FBA. If you're going to do FBM, you can sell it all the way up until right around Valentine's Day. Also, it's New Year's resolution time, so people are trying to get fit. So fitness powders, keto stuff, like anything that's marketed towards people wanting to lose weight or better themselves, is probably going to sell right now. Water bottles, think all of that kind of stuff. There's probably in TJ Maxx big areas like in the clothing, they mix them in, it's usually around the women's clothing, where there'll be water bottles, armbands, that kind of stuff. Go ahead and scan it because you just never know. Also, winter stuff. January is probably your last month, but if you have any kind of winter like clothing or winter type stuff, even if you're in Arizona and it's not cold, there's stuff that people need in other parts of the country, which is why they're buying it on Amazon. And then like I mentioned, Valentine's Day. So if you're gated and stuff, you're a new seller, you can still sell Valentine's Day clothing, you can sell home stuff, kitchen stuff. Go ahead and scan it. You might spend a couple hours scanning, but you might find some really good things, so definitely check those out. If you want help ungating, as always, I have my guides and Topical OTC grocery, which is really good for Valentine's Day and seasonal stuff in general. I sell a lot of grocery, but also those are just really high profit categories that you want to be able to sell in. So if you're a new seller, definitely check them out because they are new seller specific. They can help you. They are helping hundreds of sellers get ungated, you guys, literally in hours. It's pretty awesome. So you're going to see some of the stuff I just mentioned on my report. I pulled this report from Sellerboard. This screen you're going to see is Sellerboard. You can get 2 free months of Sellerboard when you click the link below. You guys, I love it. If you sign up and you end up paying after the 2 months, you don't have to put a credit card in to just try it out. But if you do end up doing it, I think it's like $15 to $19 depending on which program you want. I make like a very small commission. That's not why I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it because I actually use it. So I just wanted you to know, but you can definitely try it out if you want to. I had to add in the cost and the total cost. Obviously, I just total time how many I sold, the profit and total profit, but there was a lot of other numbers, total sales. Now the reason I had to edit this spreadsheet a little bit is because I don't have all my costs of goods in for everything from Sellerboard because I only started using it I think like 5 months ago. So the cost of goods of stuff that I sold last year weren't in there. I did add them in for these top 10, obviously, because it's not helpful if you don't know how much profit it actually made. But the main thing I wanted to share is like the type of items that I'm selling so that you can really get a good look at what you should be looking for, which you will see is everything. If you are not new to my channel, you probably recognize this item right here. This is not some top 10 item. It was in my top 10 like unit and sales wise, but I lost money on this. You may remember that there was something wrong with the pump, and goes down as a bad buy, and so that's why you'll see NA profit on that one. The next one is an Old Spice item. It's actually a 2-pack, and Ollie's had a lot of Old Spice. I was buying all that I could find. It cost me $5.99. I profited $10 on every one. The total profit on that was $147. I sold 14 of them in the month of January. So that's like one example right off the bat of what I'm talking about. Things that people need all the time. You always need deodorant. You always need coffee. You always need face lotions. You know, stuff that people are buying all the time. There's a lot of talk about replens and finding replens. And you guys, replens aren't easy unless you're doing wholesale. Then it's super easy. But I really don't worry about replens. I'm just trying to find like items. So now I know Old Spice deodorant sells, and guess what? I'm scanning anytime I see at off-price places. I'm scanning the Old Spice and the deodorants in general. So that's how I use this. So don't overthink it. Don't say like, oh, I need to find this Old Spice deodorant. No, scan all deodorants. Scan all Old Spice. And that's how these kind of lead lists work in general. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. So the next item is a Hawaiian Coffee. So I talked about this a little bit, but so seller board, you can put the cost of goods, and all you do right here is literally enter the cost of goods. You'll see the estimated profit over here. This is after all the Amazon fees are taken out because it's tied into your account, so it knows all that. This coffee was a true replen. I could find it year round at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. The problem was that they renamed it. I was selling this thing like hotcakes. I literally bought all that I could every single time. In January, I sold 13 of them, but overall, you'll see here it cost me, it was $7.99. I wasn't using my sales tax certificate at the time, so I was paying sales tax. But I profited $9 on them, and it was a really good find year-round. That was a true replen until it stops. Replens don't last forever, especially in retail arbitrage. So it stopped, it dried up, they no longer sell it. Now I no longer sell it. Green Mountain Coffee, again, you'll see the theme here. Coffee, grocery, things people need all the time. Toasted marshmallow mocha. This was a Tuesday morning find that I grabbed. If this is the first video like this that you're seeing, you guys, obviously I'm not selling it in grocery right now today with this rank, but ranks change all the time. So when I was selling it, it was selling. Actually, all these things are unavailable, so I guarantee if you happen to find them, they would sell even though the ranks are bad. The ranks change with sales, so obviously they've not been selling in a while, so the ranks are going higher and higher and higher. This Hydro Peak stainless steel mug, it's just one of those mugs that's like insulated or whatever. I found this at TJ Maxx. I believe this one was shared in the Bolo group last year. Here's what it looks like, but that's what I was talking about, like this time of year, water bottles, all that kind of stuff. There was some Adidas water bottles I was selling. If you need Ungated and Adidas, I can help you out in the Topical OTC and grocery guide. I know, right? You can get Ungated and Adidas, so it's a really valuable guide if you're new sellers. It's definitely worth it because you don't need anything to get Ungated. You don't need a resale certificate. You don't need a business. You don't need a business license. You don't need to be an LLC. You can just start getting Ungated as soon as you're ready. Okay, I'm gonna go quickly through. So there was a shampoo, another staple item. It was profiting me $20, okay? Then we have this iExtreme Baby. That's what I was talking about, winter stuff. So I actually found it in the navy as well. They cost me $9.99 at Marshalls and TJ Maxx, and I was selling them all sizes. You guys, this was a crazy money maker. $35 profit on this one item, and that was just one. Like I mentioned, I had them in the different colors and the different sizes. So winter items, clothing. If you were a new seller, you could sell this. If you're a new seller, you're not getting in clothing and kitchen and home. So a lot of the fitness stuff you can probably sell. So definitely keep scanning and see what's out there. Again, toys still year round. So this Disney Frozen doll, it was $14.99, which after tax comes out to $16, and I made $18 on that one. Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Gummies. I found them single, but I just went ahead and bundled 3-pack together. I put them in a poly bag. I put a "this is a set" sticker, and off it went. I sold a lot of these. These are another replen, but it's only as long as you can find them. So I would say I probably found them for 6 months overall. I was selling them, and then it dries up. So I wouldn't get over concerned with replens. And I'll just really quickly kind of call out some of them. So again, another toy hamster, a non-stick omelet pan. So again, here we've got some tiny conversation hearts because Valentine's Day in January, that's when you start selling it. Here's another puffer, NFL Pop, a doll, Kotex panty liner, Valentine's Day cards with tattoos, Frozen characters, yarn. You guys, there's so much stuff. You really do have to scan everything. If you want to join the Bolo group, where you get a list of profitable items shared by other members of the group, so not only are we all sharing items we're finding all month long, so you have this long list of over 200 items, but we are also just helping each other out, asking questions. Is a really great community of sellers. I'm super proud of it. So that is available for you if you would like to join it. Of course, I have my ungating guides, but really, you guys, just scan everything. Don't think of it as January, what do I need to sell? Just keep scanning everything, because literally everything sells. If it has a really good rank, go ahead and grab it. So that is it for this video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you right back here for another Amazon selling video.